For a while now, I've wanted to make videos. I've been stuck at home in quarantine for a year now, and let's be real, I've still been lonely when we're all vaccinated and healthy. So hey, I may as well start making YouTube videos of sitting on a wall. Sitting on a wall, that doesn't make sense. Staring at a wall. So which game will I review for my first video? Because you know, that's original on YouTube these days. It's best to pick a game that's relevant, fun, that I have a personal connection to, so I picked 3D World. So it's no surprise that Mario is the king of 3D platformers, at least behind Bubsy. The 5 main entries are famous for collecting stars to progress and open world gameplay, which is why lots of people were pissed off when 3D World was announced. For context, Nintendo made Super Mario 3D Land for 3DS 2 years prior. A fully handheld 3D Mario game, except it was point A to point B instead of open world because of the 3DS's limitations. And due to 3D Land's success, a sequel was being made for the Wii U. 3D World had the structure of 3D Land, but the scope of a console game. Lots of fans were pissed because this game wasn't a traditional 3D Mario game when it was announced. But since then, people have begun to like it. Newfound appreciation for 3D World is something I'm out for because I really love this game. But personally, I don't have a newfound appreciation for this game at all, because I always loved it. The game starts very simply. The race of fairies called Spritzies are kidnapped by Bowser instead of Peach. Wait, hold on! And then it's up to Mario, Luigi, Peach and Toad to save them. A more complex story than Final Fantasy VII Remake. It's a running joke that newer 2D Mario games are unoriginal, and because 3D World is linear, it gets called unoriginal too, but that's not true at all. Of course, in my opinion. And maybe factually. This game is the definition of innovation. Every level tries something new and ends up being memorable. This is a great change from the New Super Mario series, which has the same soundtrack and same art design since 2009. The first level of Super Bowl Hill is the perfect first level for a game in my opinion. It introduces several mechanics for the game like trees, the katsu, clear pipes, green stars, and chasing rabbits. This game has lots of common themes from the series like Grass and Underground, but each one has a new twist. For example, there's an underground level with a shadow gimmick, and for one whole section you only see silhouettes of characters. There's a snow level with ice skating, and most importantly, every castle level has an overhaul. So for this game you're never actually inside a castle for the most part, you're only outside the castle, which is really interesting to see. And the Earthship levels are replaced with new twists like a train level and a military march of Bowser's minions. And aside from building a compound, every boss fight is original. The Histocrats, Motley Boss Blob and King Katunk are all new to the series. And Bowser's boss fight literally has him in a car throwing explosive footballs at you. Speaking of Bowser, the final world isn't just a lava world with Bowser's castle, it's literally inside Bowser's castle with many levels part of it. There's even a stealth level with bullet bills, in which a bullet bill shoots at you if you're caught in the searchlights. Why can't the 2D games be this original? Aside from that, new level teams are introduced like the Circus and Savannah. The Circus shows up a lot in this game and is introduced in the first world, so early on you know the game is original and different. Also there's new one-off level teams like a Mario Kart themed level and the Japanese castle themed level. So after you beat Bowser, the game ends. Except it doesn't, there's one more world. Definitely just one more world. So remember the Circus/Funfair team? Bowser builds a final theme park based on himself as a final world. So after all that, let's talk about the gameplay. Which is some of the best in the series. The game is linear, however you'll frequently be blocking the world map by a Bowser statue. These statues demand a certain number of green stars to progress. And upon giving them the green stars they break, allowing you to progress to the next level. To find these green stars you need to explore every level, which have 3 green stars each. Aside from that, however, there are also mystery houses, which have multiple short challenges, each one giving a green star upon completion. And of course, the Captain Toad levels. The Captain Toad levels feature the Captain returning from Galaxy as he hunts for 5 green stars in a small cubic level. The twist is he can't jump, which adds a new strategy to each of the levels, essentially making them puzzles. They were so good they got their own game in 2014. So with that being said, what were the 4 main characters? So obviously you have Mario and Luigi, but in a similar vein to Mario 2 you also have Peach and Toad. Each character has different abilities. Mario's balanced, Luigi has the best jump, Toad is the fastest, and Peach is for cheaters. In this playthrough I play as Luigi mostly because he's my favourite character out of the 4, and I like having the high jump. The controls and physics in this game are some of the tightest I've ever played in a video game, and are second only to Odyssey in terms of Mario games. The Switch port also makes every character faster and gives everyone the air roll. This seemed weird at first, but it's a welcome addition 100%. These changes make the port stand out from the Wii U version in my opinion. 2 new power-ups debut in this game, those being the Cat Bow and Double Cherry. The Katsu lets you climb up walls, and Double Cherry clones your character. These 2 power-ups feel very fresh, and are part of the game's identity. For the final boss fight, Bowser used the Cat Bow to become Meowser. Holy shit, he's a furry now. And then used Double Cherry to clone himself in phase 2. In my opinion, Meowser is how you do a Bowser boss fight, One problem I have with 3D Mario games is that every Bowser fight is very predictable, as it'll always be the same Bowser fight you did 3 times, just stronger. However, in this game, Meowser is completely different from the other Bowser fights, and it felt fresh. On the other hand, 64, Galaxy, and Odyssey made me feel disappointed. But 3D World reminded me how good a final boss fight can be. And for that reason, Meowser is probably my favourite Bowser fight of all time. After all that, there's one more thing, right? Luigi Bros. After defeating Persona Bowser, you unlock World Star, which is a whole new world with a space level team. Like the first 8 worlds, World Star has even more original levels like a massive block themed level, a snowy graveyard ghost level, and also a level where the flagpole starts. Also in World Star, you unlock Rosalina, who has the spin ability from Mario Galaxy, which breaks the whole game. And after all that, there's one more world, or 2 if you're a smartass. God, what's this world like? Oh Christ almighty. The last 2 worlds consist of harder versions of levels from the first 9 worlds. The game is a bit easy, especially if you're a veteran of it like I was. So these levels really make the game longer and test all your abilities, so I'm all for them. So if all that's not enough for you, there's one final level called Champions Road. To get Champions Road, you need to get every green star, every stamp, and get the golden flagpole with each character. The game's just full of content, with 380 green stars, 80 stamps, and having to beat the game 4 more times with each character for 100% completion. The replay value doesn't end there, however, as after you beat Meowser, your best time will be displayed on each level. And the game's short level structure and perfect physics make it the best Mario game to speedrun levels in my opinion. And even then, the Switch version adds one new feature, in fact an entire new game, Bowser's Fury. Bowser's Fury is built in 3D World's engine and has all the physics from the game, however it's structured like most 3D Mario games, being open world. In Bowser's Fury, Bowser is brainwashed by a black liquid that turns him into Fury Bowser, and he starts terrorizing the game's location, Lake Lapcat. So Mario Bowser Jr. have a really interesting hero-villain alliance to stop Bowser. So as I said, Bowser's Fury is completely open world. Lake Lapcat is full of several different islands, which have several smaller linear challenges like Odyssey, which reward you with catch signs. You need 50 catch signs to beat the game, and 100 catch signs to 100% it. The catch signs activate lighthouses as well as Fury Bows, and collecting catch signs will unlock new islands. Roughly every 6 minutes, Fury Bowser awakens and breathes near unavoidable fire at Mario, which changes gameplay and strategy immensely. Collecting catch signs will activate the lighthouse and immediately repel him. However, more importantly, you can turn into Giga Cat Mario with the Giga Cat Bow to fight him. Every Fury Bowser fight is God's tier in my opinion. The fights are epic in general, and also towering over Lake Lapcat as Giga Cat Mario is one of the coolest I've ever seen in a video game. Lake Lapcat is full of several different islands with 3 level teams being Grass, Winter, and Lava. These may seem lackluster at first, but the game is only an expansion, so it's a really good variety with that in mind. The whole game is one connected world, and going to different islands will not trigger a loading screen, kinda like Breath of the Wild. It's really impressive for the Switch, and it seems like a blueprint for future installments, so it's kinda like Ground Zeroes, but put to the extreme. The catch signs mostly revolve around smaller scale challenges like the Power Moons and Odyssey, except I think they're way better than the Power Moons. The 1000 minus 1 Power Moons felt really tedious after a while, as lots of them were just filler. However, the 100 catch signs all feel worthwhile, for the most part. The small scale of the catch sign challenges are really great for short bursts, which is perfect for the Switch. So overall, Bowser's Fury is a really fun expansion that brings the same magic and innovation from something like Odyssey or Galaxy, but made it a lot shorter. And while the game was only a few hours long, the devs really made sure every hour was special. And I mean, it's an expansion, what the fuck do you expect? And it's the expansion to one of the best Mario games of all time. You literally have 2 good games in one package. So with the Switch port costing €60 or whatever currency you use, people might be skeptical on buying this game, but with 3D World and the expansion combined, I think €60 is well worth it. If you overlooked the game from the Wii U era or didn't have a Wii U at all, I'd highly recommend giving this game a shot. So my final review of this game is... It's terrible because of the PlayStation controls, like seriously, fuck this game, go play Paper Boat Deluxe or something, literally any other Switch game. So I just found out that Paper Boat Deluxe actually got good reviews, so the whole point of that joke was, I was going to go to like, some like shovelware game and recent releases on the eShop, just to like make it be like sarcastic, but no, actually Paper Boat Deluxe is supposed to be pretty good, so sorry for any confusion caused there.